Hello everyone, my name is Donis Bendicio, a licensed psychometrician from Lahok Training Center, a training center for aspiring and practicing psychometricians. And sometimes we give talks like this, which covers various psychology-related topics, so much as possible. We want it to be very light, easy to understand, and provide practical applications of these topics. We want to share the thought that psychology has a practical application and psychometrics is one of them. Again, welcome to another series of psychological perspectives about love, and today we will talk about Alfred Adler's life task. We will have a glimpse of his profile, his contribution to understanding love, relationship, and self care with the help of his theory, individual psychology. If you want to have a copy of this presentation in PDF format, message us with your appreciation, inquiries, or clarifications about this topic by sending us message through our Facebook or Gmail account. So for Facebook, that is fb.com/lahoktc. For our Gmail account, that is hr.lahok at gmail.com. We enjoy creating contents like this. So if you want us to create and help you out with the topics related to theories, personality, abnormal psychology, psychological assessment, this industrial and organizational psychology, understanding the self and personal development, kindly send us message and we will get back to you soon. We may also mention your name the next video. So comment down your names and also your inquiry. I hope you will learn some theoretical concepts today. And now let us proceed with the topic. Who is Alfred Adler? Alfred Adler was born in Vienna, Austria in 1870, pursued his medicine at University of Vienna in 1895. He practiced psychiatry and he suggests that people tend to complain on their weaknesses because of the organ inferiorities. Bakit daw ang ibang tao, meron tayong tinatawag na organ inferiorities? Bakit daw yung ibang tao nagko-complain just because of the weaknesses of the organs that they have? And we will discuss that later. Particularly in the field of his individual psychology perspective. He proposed three life tasks originally, that is work, friend, and love task. So from the words themselves, so basically you can learn ano ba yung mga dapat natin gawin sa buhay natin. We have to work, we have to have friends and have this social skills, and of course we have to love or express our intimacy towards an exclusive relationship. We also have this founding father as he founded this individual psychology, and the theory he based this from teleological perspective, or an individual's tendency using his will towards us attaining a certain goal and influence of society to our personality. He believed that our parents, our friends, and of course, the leaders inside our society that we are in are likely influencing us to have this kind of unique personality that we have right now. So let us proceed with the different tasks according to him: the work, friend, or a social task, and also have the love or intimacy task. Okay. So for the work task includes the realization that your work is meaningful and satisfying. For an instance, you have this kind of work, doing an admin work, doing office work, doing uh, academic work, so on and so forth. So these things you have to evaluate yourselves according to Adler. Does this work, or do these works give you satisfaction or meaning to your life? According to Adler, if yes, that is great. The same goes with friendship and love task. Okay, so for an instance, you are working in a you are working in a school, or you are working in an office, and your work gives you meaning. You are expressing your attitude, you're expressing your ideals. Of course, you're expressing your characteristics, certain skills. uh, you're expressing these talents that you have in the work, and with this expression that you have expressing in this kind of a workplace, then you feel satisfied doing it. So parang ang nangyayari dito during the work task is that if you're happy about work, if you're happy about your work, then that is good. So the same goes with friendship then. So sa friendship naman, we have the social task na we have to to express our social skills. We have to express the relationship to others. We have to satisfy this need. So the same goes with other principles and theories such as Abraham Maslow. We have this the need to belong. We have this need to belong with other. The need to belong is certain group. So basically, we have to express this social task or friendship task. So you can evaluate yourselves. Do I have a set of friends? Do I have set of individuals that I like? O kaya naman do I have set of classmates or office mates which I like. So basically, if you're expressing yourselves and you are satisfied with this kind of relationship that you have, then you are doing well with this kind of friendship that you have. Then later on, we will discuss some principles in individual psychology on what are the motivators, what are the certain principles inside this individual psychology, bakit meron tayo mga task, why are we satisfied with the friendship, the social task, and of course the social interest that we have according to individual psychology. The same goes with intimacy and love task. Are we happy about our relationship right now? Are we happy with the partner that we have right now? It is expressing our intimacy, it is expressing our love. So pag sinabi nating intimacy, that includes our compassion, our physical intimacy towards our partner. The same goes with uh, what else? The feelings of belonging to the partner that you have. So you are feeling that you are feeling good about your partner. He or she is doing great with you, or he or she is satisfying your needs. That is your physiological needs, your security needs. Pinapakain ka, o kaya naman he or she gives you the warmth of the home that you need. So basically, these are the things that you want to feel an intimate relationship. Okay. So there are some Adlerian theorists or proponents who suggest different tasks that is different to the original three. So aside from love, work, as well as what else? The friend or the social task, we have self task. So we have to recognize these strengths and weaknesses that we have, and we also have the recreational or having fun task, and also we have to express this feeling of existential or spiritual one, which is likely cosmological. We question ourselves, why am I here? So these tasks So these tasks may include also the family task. If you are a parent of, or if you are a person who is a family na, you have this family task na. So according to some theories such as Dink Mayer in 1987, of course we have different proponents of these different tasks according to Adlerian theories. Now, what are the motivators of what we call these tasks according to individual psychology, or the proponent of this psychological perspective, the individual psychology? Why is it important to have a good relationship with others? Bakit kailangan natin magtrabaho? Bakit kailangan natin ng intimate partner? Bakit kailangan natin mga kaibigan o social skills when it comes to understanding our own self? Okay? So we have this belief in Adler's theory that humans are social beings. Okay? All of our behavior are socially motivated. They are socially embedded and has social meanings. Okay. So according to Alfred Adler, it is not just the prior experiences or negative experiences or traumatic experiences which motivated our current selves that is could be found in psychoanalytical perspective, but rather it is motivated because of the individuals around us. Maaring yung parents natin, maaring yung partner in life natin, maaring yung mga kapatid natin, maaring yung mga kaibigan, office mate, o kaya yung mga kaklase natin. These humans, these social entities are likely motivating our behavior towards certain goal, and that is what we call social skills, and also the social identity that we have. Later on, we also have to discuss the Gemeinschaftsgefühl, or the social interest that he called. And then, so of course, sabi ni Alfred Adler, humans are social beings and our community shapes our consciousness. Yung consciousness na tinatawag natin, it is the thinking that we have right here, right now. Ano ba yung naiisip natin ngayon? Why are we motivated to love? Why are we motivated to have a good friends or find good relationship with others? Bakit kailangan natin magtrabaho? Bakit kailangan natin gawin ang mga bagay na ito? It is because of the what we call the human tendency to be sociable, to be social beings, according to Alfred Adler. And now, let us proceed with social interest. We have said that Gemeinschaftsgefühl or social interest is very important when it comes to individual psychology. Why is that? Adler aims to develop a culture where a child could develop this viewpoint or perspective with a free family structure or what we call good social interest or healthy social interest. That is according to the FRIN 2011. And to achieve that, social interest is very important to recognize in this kind of perspective. According to Alfred Adler, social interest or Gemeinschaftsgefühl refers to the compassion that we feel towards a person, the compassion that we feel or empathy that we feel towards the individual that we are considering we belong to. So, andyan yung mga parents ninyo. So, andyan din yung mahal ninyo sa buhay, yung partner in life ninyo. This is the sense of community feeling. We have to cooperate with other people towards a common good because it needs to be done according to American Psychological Association and Wing It in 2016. Why is it very important to have a common goal? Why is it very important to have a good relationship with others? It is because we have to do it. And we are driven with this kind of social structure, the social motivation that we have in the moment, according to Adler. Now, let us proceed with the Adler's family constellation. Nakakaapekto pala itong tinatawag natin na relationship of parents that we have during our childhood experiences, as also proposed with other psychodynamic theories. But according to Alfred Adler, we have this family constellation, particularly the birth order, which really characterized certain values, certain attitude, okay, towards those people around us. So, for example, if you are firstborn, middle child, youngest child, or only child, you have certain characteristics that are very original to you only, according to the Adler's theory. So, these are just psychological perspective on how an individual could be raised by a person or by their parents. So, likely, the firstborn might receive different treatment from other siblings o kaya naman kung ikaw naman or ay only child, you might feel or you might think that you have certain characteristics that are original only to you compared to the youngest, compared to the middle, and compared to the firstborn child. Now, let us proceed with an example right here. As you can see, a firstborn child could be motivated one. He could be responsible. He could be conscientious. When we say conscientious, he is very organized. Maybe it is because of the parent that reinforced him or her to be very organized, very responsible towards his siblings or her siblings, or very responsible when it comes to the task that we have inside the home. So for example, kung ikaw ay panganay, bibigyan ka ni nanay o ni tatay ng mga gawaing bahay. Kailangan na pag-uwi ko, maayos yung bahay. Nak, kailangan asikasuhin mo si ganitong kapatid mo. Nak, pakainin mo si ganyan. Also, we are being responsible. We are shaped by nanay and tatay. We are shaped by our parents because of these expectations or values that our parents are instilled to the firstborn. Ang sabi niya, they could be cautious, they could be reliable, they could be sometimes perfectionist. So kung mapapansin natin minsan yung mga nakakatanda sa atin, yung titawag natin na firstborn o yung mga panganay natin, they are likely to be leader. They are likely to be achiever. And sometimes, they are likely to be bossy. Kung mapapansin ninyo, itong si panganay, mas gusto niya na inuutusan si pangalawa o kaya naman si bunso kasi he or she is implementing these rules and regulations then to give tasks to other individuals inside the home. And of course, it is also motivated by this social influences coming from the parents that he or she has. And of course, we have the middle born. Sila naman yung pumangalawa dito sa ating panganay o yung tinatawag natin na pangalawa o yung middle o yung nasa gitna kung meron mang last born o merong bunso. So yung mga middle born na nasa gitna, sila yung peacemaker daw. Sila yung gusto ay sociable, sila yung likely to be adaptable towards the relationship with group. So halimbawa si panganay ay bossy o kaya naman si bunso ay self-centered or sometimes manipulative or attention seeking, si middle born, he or she is likely adaptable to other people. Also, he or she is characterized with as a people pleaser. Minsan gusto niya piniplease si mommy o si daddy by achieving goals din. So, nandiyan yung ginagawa niya yung pagpunta sa school o kaya naman pagpunta sa church o kaya naman being a good boy or being a good girl just to please etong si nanay o si tatay. So can be sometimes rebellious. So in contrast to the firstborn, si middleborn could be sometimes rebellious and sometimes independent and sometimes go in between. So go between lang siya between firstborn and lastborn. And sometimes yung tinatawag natin lastborn o yung bunso could be manipulative, uncomplicated, seeks attention, and of course self-centered kasi nabibigay sa kanya yung tinatawag natin na attention by the parents. Of course, this is not universal, but likely these are the characteristics of what we call the children or the family constellation, of course, the psychological birth order according to Alfred Adler. Now, sometimes they are charming and outgoing. Now, we have the only child. So kung wala kang kapatid, likely you are sensitive, you have these characteristics of these three characteristics. You could be confident, you could be center of attention. So likely kung mapapansin niyo yung characteristics ni firstborn, middleborn, and lastborn are likely characterized to the only child. And sometimes they are being responsible gaya ni panganay and sometimes perfectionist lang gaya ni panganay. Okay. Let us proceed with the self-ideal. According to Alfred Adler, we have different ideal self o yung tinatawag natin na self-ideal. When we say self-ideal, it is the organizing principle of what we call the lifestyle. So, meron tayong tinitingnan in the future na magiging tayo o kaya naman gusto kong maging doktor, gusto kong maging teacher, gusto kong maging engineer, gusto kong maging software engineer, gusto kong maging programmer, gusto kong maging IT, gusto kong maging computer science engineer. So basically, these are the things na gusto nating maging. Kumbaga, successful tayo sa buhay natin. Gusto ko magkaroon ako ng sariling bahay. Gusto ko magkaroon ako ng sariling pamilya. Gusto ko magkaroon ako ng sarili kong kotse o yung bahay. So these are the things na nakikita natin in the near future, which is what we call the self-ideal. It tends to organize our principle of lifestyle that we choose. So when we say lifestyle naman, it is the things that we do to achieve this goal in life. So for example, a person we would like to become, so we would like to become a professional teacher, professional psychometrician, professional engineer, or whatever vocation that you are in. So likely driven and shaped during our childhood. According to Alfred Adler, of course, we are being influenced by our parents. It could be the determined or the values that we have from the parents na binibigay sa atin ni parent. For example, sabi nila, anak, gusto ko paglaki mo maging doktor ka. O kaya, anak, gusto ko paglaki mo maging teacher ka. So, we are being shaped by these parents o ng mga taong nakapaligid sa atin. Maaaring yung the person that is very important to us aside from our parents. It could be our church leader o kaya naman yung teacher natin. Si ganito mukhang magaling siya sa math, si ganito mukhang magaling siya sa English, maaari maging teacher siya o kaya naman maging model siya kasi maganda siya, matangkad siya. So we are being shaped by our childhood experiences, and these childhood experiences shape our self-ideal. Okay? If necessary, we have to be aware of this as striving. Bakit ba natin ginagawa ito? Sabi ba ni parents, sabi ba ni nanay na gawin ko ito? So, kung pinapahalagan natin yung sinasabi ni nanay o sinasabi ni tatay, then it is okay kung it does not give us disturbance or psychological or emotional disturbance, then that is okay. If you have this self-ideal for a while, and of course, adjusting self-ideal could be towards self-improvement naman. And of course, ginagawa natin itong mga lifestyle na meron tayo, it is because of the self-ideal that we want to achieve. Later on, gusto natin maging professional engineer, which is why gagalingan natin sa academics natin, gagalingan natin sa pag-solve ng problems, gagalingan natin sa pagde-design and other related skills to this kind of profession. The same goes with other profession which we want to receive in the later part in life na maging ideal natin, ma-receive natin yung ideal self natin according to Alfred Adler. So, again, na-impluwensyahan tayo ng ating social entity, yung mga parents natin, other individuals inside our community for us to achieve this self-ideal and of course the what we call or considered organizing principle of what we call the style of life. Now let us proceed with the style of life again. If you have the time to ask for the copy of this presentation, you can just click the picture right here and it will lead you to another presentation or the paper that we are presenting right now that is from Watts in 2015. So the Adler's individual psychology, which is considered as the original positive psychology. This is the root according to Watts 2015 of the positive psychology, the individual psychology. Okay, Adler's theory is likely considered to be positive psychology according to what's in 2015, since it relates to some principles are being recognized ngayon pinapractice itong positive psychology. More likely, it is expressed to this kind of practice na. Okay. Let us proceed with the style of life. Ano bang ibig sabihin ng lifestyle? When we say lifestyle, it is the person's cognitive blueprint, such as our values, dynamics, and family constellation. So it is originated coming from the childhood experiences that we have, the values coming from our parents, the values coming from the church, the values coming from the community that we have. So, for example, we have set of friends that we enjoy being with during our childhood. So likely, our style of life or lifestyle could be defined by these individuals or friends we consider during our childhood. So for example, mahilig tayo maglaro ng computer, later part in life according to Adler, magkakaroon tayo ng tendency to achieve this goal na magkaroon tayo ng computer shop o kaya naman we own a company that is dedicated to computer software o kaya naman dedicated to work which relates to gaming. So likely maging gamer tayo o kaya naman we are used to activities related to gaming. So this is the lifestyle na meron tayo for an instance which are related to the past experiences during our childhood. For an instance, gusto natin maging teacher. So ang gagawin natin ngayon for us to be an effective teacher, magbabasa tayo ng marami o kaya naman we will apply as a teacher o kaya as a tutor. So this is because of the lifestyle or this is what we call the influences of these individuals that we have during our childhood experiences. So, halimbawa, gusto naman natin maging pastor, maybe we are being reinforced by the church that we have na si ganito, magaling siya magsalita. So, maaari maging pastor siya paglaki niya o kaya naman si ganito, mukhang magaling siya sa ganito mga concepts in science. So probably magiging nurse siya o kaya naman magiging medical doctor siya. So when we think that these expectations are healthy, these expectations are relatively uh, achievable. So basically, we would have this kind of lifestyle which are related to this goal in life. So paglaki ko gusto kong maging doktor kasi sabi ni doktor mukhang magaling daw ako sa science o kaya naman sabi ni doktor wala akong mararating sa buhay o kaya naman is hindi na ako gagaling. So it could motivate the individual to proceed with this kind of lifestyle na gagalingan niya mag-aral, hindi siya magpapatalo sa paniniwala na hindi siya magaling sa ganitong field. So likely it is the opposite. So in the long term, according to Adler, is it because of your own desire to prove to others na uh, you will achieve this kind of profession? O kaya naman, is it because of the healthy lifestyle na gusto mo maging doktor para mabigyan mo ng magandang kinabukasan o magandang health yung mga nasa community mo? So you ask yourself, is it towards a goal, a common goal, na gusto mo maging doktor para sa iba? Or gusto mo maging doktor lang para patunayan mo lang sa sarili mo kasi you felt the inferiority complex during that time na ikaw ay bata pa. So you have to ask yourself according to Adler with this kind of lifestyle that you have. Again, so we have the creative self. Ano ba yung creative self according to Alfred Adler? So, o yung creative lifestyle natin. The creative self promotes a person's development of style of life. So being proactive or writing one's own life script. So maaring gawin natin sa buhay natin na hindi tayo hindi tayo determined by the external factors. For instance, sabi ni nanay, wala tayong mararating. Sabi ni tatay, wala tayong mararating. Sabi ni ganitong teacher, hindi ka talaga magaling. So basically, these creative self, you can create your own script according to Adler, which determines your future. O kaya naman sa isang relationship, maaring sabi ni girlfriend, hindi ka naman talaga nakikinig sa akin. You can write your own script na um, pwede kang maging a good partner by means of giving proper needs of your partner. The same goes with your family members. If you are good with it, then you could be having this creative self. And aside from the lifestyle that you have, you can create your own script towards the goal you want to achieve, be it for yourself, be it for the partner that you have, be it for the people that you serve. Okay. Now let us proceed with what we call the threats of what we call the self. Ano ba yung mga threats na nararamdaman natin or maaring maramdaman natin during the time that we are striving towards our goal? According to Alfred Adler, or the theory of Adler, it could be the physical harm, maaring yung sakit, maaring yung death. So maaring yung mga bagay na yun which tries to threat ourselves. Okay, we also have the social threat. Maaring tingin ng iba sa atin is hindi tayo magaling o kaya naman wala tayong patutunguhan. Likely the social threat is the perception of those individuals around us, and social threat may motivate us as well to really proceed to what we call the goal in our life. And also we have the loss of self-esteem. It is the negative view of our own self. And of course, to protect ourselves to this kind of threats, maaring tingin natin sa sarili natin, hindi tayo magaling. Maaring tingin ng iba sa atin, hindi tayo magaling. O kaya naman because of the illness that we have, wala na tayong patutunguhan. Likely, we have this safeguarding tendency. It is a psychological mechanism for us to understand ano ba yung pwede nating gawin para tayo ay makapag-proceed doon sa goal natin. Ang goal natin, mabigyan ng magandang buhay yung anak natin, mabigyan ng magandang buhay ang pamilya natin. Pero may sakit ako. Pero hindi maganda yung tingin ng iba sa akin. Pero hindi maganda yung tingin ko sa sarili ko. Ano daw ang pwede nating gawin? According to Alfred Adler, we have the what we call the problem-solving approach. When you say problem-solving approach, aayusin natin, isosolve natin yung problem right then and there. Sabi ni Nistel in 1995, a problem-solving approach to counseling integrating Adler's and Glazer's theories, merong paraan para gawin ang mga bagay na ito. So we have to identify our problems. Alamin natin ano ba yung mga problema natin sa buhay. For example, gusto natin mag-aral na mabuti para tayo makapagtrabaho, kaya makakuha tayo ng magandang degree at maging magandang impression sa atin ng mga parents natin. This is a problem, for instance, for me. So gusto ko makapag-aral na mabuti, kaya gagawin ko ng paraan. Ang sabi dito, we have to understand the problem and behavior. Ano ba yung epekto sa atin? Ano ba yung epekto sa iba nito kapag wala ba akong may papakain sa pamilya ko, kaya sa anak ko, o kaya naman doon sa mahal ko sa buhay? We have to understand the problem. Ano ba yung epekto nito sa iyo? Ano ba yung epekto nito sa ibang tao? And of course, you have to modify your motivation to change. So it could be your own motivation is that ikaw lang sa sarili mo, gusto mo lang mabuhay mag-isa, o kaya naman gusto mo na i-satisfy lang yung own need mo. But really, ang sabi ni Alfred Adler, we have to see others' perspectives. Then, by modifying our own motivation, may aring tingin natin sa current situation natin, ay nakaka-apekto tayo sa anak natin o kaya naman sa mahal natin sa buhay. By that, maaari makita natin sarili natin na ginagawa ko itong trabaho na to para sa pamilya ko. Ginagawa ko itong trabaho na to para sa mga anak ko. Ginagawa ko itong trabaho na to para sa parents ko kasi mahal ko sila. So you are modifying your motivation from yourself to other people. You are now extending this social interest or Gamansha's fuel na tinatawag. You have the common goal. You have the common interest na ikaw lang sa sarili mo, hindi ikaw mabuhay or hindi ka mabubuhay kung wala sila. You have this sense belongingness na kailangan mabuhay ka kasama sila. Then, makikita ninyo ito sa ibang padre de pamilya o kaya naman sa ibang mga magulang that they are prioritizing really yung kailangan ng mga anak nila o kaya naman kailangan ng children nila. So this tends to modify our motivation. Of course, we have to learn an efficient approach. Ano ba yung pinakamadaling paraan but very effective and to meet one's own needs. Pag sinabi nating needs, nandiyan yung physiological, andyan yung security needs, andyan yung esteem needs. So basically, we have to meet these physiological needs. Kailangan natin ng mapapakain, kailangan natin ng mapapainom, kailangan natin ng mga bagay na ito para masustain yung health, physical health and psychological health ng ating katawan. And of course, nung aking mga anak. And of course, nandiyan tinatawag natin na security needs. Walang matitirhan, walang bahay yung pamilya, anong kailangan kong gawin? Ano yung pinakamadaling paraan na hindi masasaktan ako, hindi masasaktan yung pamilya ko? So yan, you have to think of the problem according to this article in Nistel in 1995, adopting Adler's theory. If you want to have a copy of this, you just have to click this picture right here, and it will lead you to the article for Nistel in 1995. Now, you have to identify, you have to understand, modify your motivation, and of course, you have to learn the efficient approach to meet one's need. Okay? So we have that safeguarding tendency. So kung hindi natin masosolve yung problem natin, meron tayong tinatawag na safeguarding tendencies or techniques. Ano ba itong mga safeguarding techniques na ito? So halimbawa, hindi mo na-solve yung problem mo. We have what we call the symptoms. Andyan yung magkakasakit ka, magkakaroon ka ng headache, so napapagod ka o yung fatigue. Nandiyan yung pananakit ng katawan. So ayaw mo nang gawin kasi meron kang sakit eh. Ayaw mo nang gawin kasi hindi kaya ng katawan mo. Ayaw mo nang gawin kasi yung mismong katawan mo nag-give up na. So your psyche tends to influence with what we call the body. Sabi ng psyche mo, hindi kaya ng katawan mo, i-give up mo na. So ito yung tawag natin na one, safeguarding tendency natin. So yung symptoms, nagkakaroon ng sakit, ang tinatawag natin na physical body natin. Nandyan yung excuses din. Ang sabi ni Alfred Adler, we tend to have these excuses. Oo, kaya naman kaso, o kaya naman, siguro kung ginawa ko to, so we have these excuses. Meron tayong mga bagay na sinasabi sa atin na gusto nating gawin, but we do not uh, take the action para gawin natin yon. Oo, kaya ko namang magtayo ng sarili kong business. Oo, kaya ko naman mag-aral mabuti, kaso tinatamad ako. Kaso meron tayong maraming buts, and if only kasi nagsisisi tayo dahil hindi natin ginawa yon. So it may lead us to some kind of regression, excuses because of what we call the hindi natin ginawa o hindi natin nagawa yung bagay na gusto nating gawin. So for instance, gusto kong magkaroon ng pamilya kaso parang hindi ko pa kaya. Gusto kong magkaroon ng sariling kotse kaso tinatamad ako magtrabaho. So anong mangyayari sa atin? We just have to have these excuses according to safeguarding techniques of Alfred Adler. Nandito yung tinatawag natin na aggression. Pag sinabi nating aggression, it is our tendency to be aggressive or trying to criticize. Minsan pinagchichismisan natin yung ibang tao. We are trying to throw our own shadow to other people. That is projection. We are trying to accuse others, which are really, minsan tayo naman talaga yung gumagawa. We try to have this self-harm. Ginagawa natin ng masama yung sarili natin o kaya naman we are likely to be masochistic. So we are trying to enjoy this unhealthy kind of relationship towards ourselves. So we have to be aware of these tendencies. If we are not, if we do not want to, if we did not solve our own problem, it may lead us to what we call the safeguarding tendencies. And of course, we have the last one, the withdrawal. When we say withdrawal, we are trying to withdraw. We are trying to get back from the facing the problem. And ano ba yung mga characteristics of withdrawal? Nandiyan yung tinatawag natin na moving backward. So we are trying to regress. Nandiyan yung tinatawag na mag-a-act tayo as a child. Hindi natin gagawin kasi hindi natin kaya. O kaya naman mag-withdraw tayo dahil we are trying to get back to the portion of ourselves where we are feeling comfortable about being a childlike behavior. So this characteristic of moving backward is like proceeding to the previous experiences that we feel na comfortable tayo. We are just being passive to the problems that we are facing. When we say passive, it is the kind of characteristic na hindi natin gagawin kasi maybe maaring yung iba, pwede naman nilang gawin yun eh. O kaya naman pwede naman gawin ni nanay, pwede naman gawin ni tatay. So you are moving backward or you're trying to regress your psychological motivation. And of course, we have standing still. You are avoiding task and or never doing anything because of the fear. Maaring natatakot ka, maaring tingin mo kapag ginawa mo, some people will reject you, some people will say this and that. So you're trying to avoid because you have this tendency to say na maaaring sabihin ni ganitong boss na hindi naman talaga ako magaling. Maaaring sabihin sa akin ni nanay na hindi naman talaga ako magaling, hindi naman talaga ako, wala naman talaga mararating yung ginagawa ko na ito. You are standing still according to other and that is not healthy kind of tendency for an individual. And you may also have this hesitating. When we say hesitating, it is too late now. Iniisip natin, pagpapabukas ko na lang yan. Total, hindi naman maganda yung kalalabasan. You are hesitating dahil wala ka na magagawa doon eh. Andyan na yan. Too late na para gawan ko ng paraan. You are trying to hesitate because of the thinking that you are not, you do not have the power to control these things that is happening to you. So you have this construction obstacle, creating another problem. Gumagawa ka ng another problem para hindi ka matuloy dun sa pag-solve ng problem mo. So you are waiting for the outside variables to hinder your progress. So meron ka ng problema pero dinagdagan mo ng another problem. Yung another problem na yun yung uunahin mo. And then eventually, hindi mo na natapos yung main problem mo because of the uh, obstacles that you are trying to construct. Basically, these are psychological constructs which hinder us to really solve our problems. Now, let us proceed with the feelings of inferiority. When we say feelings of inferiority, it is the unhealthy conclusions we draw from certain measures which affects our striving for superiority. We may assume that it is too late now para i-achieve yung dream ko para sa pamilya ko. It is too late now para i-achieve ko yung sarili kong interest para sa future namin na mag-asawa, para sa future namin ng girlfriend ko, so para sa future ng boyfriend nyo. So these are the feelings of inferiority. You are trying to conclude already in an unhealthy way that you are trying to have this kind of measures or unhealthy thinking that will affect your striving for success or superiority. And it's likely um, this feeling affect our behavior, our thinking, our emotion in every day of our lives. Araw-araw dadalhin natin, hindi ko naman talaga kaya, hindi naman talaga ako magiging successful. So these are the feelings of inferiority. We feel bad of ourselves. We feel bad of our own skills, our own abilities. So these are the thinking or the feelings that try to hinder us to achieve our goal, yung superiority or success. According to Alfred Adler, hindi naman masama kung we are trying to strive for superiority or we are trying to strive for success. So likely it is relative. Ibig sabihin, it is not really bad to strive for superiority or for your own self. Hindi masama na gawin mo yun para sa sarili mo. Hindi rin masama para gawin mo sa ibang tao yung ginagawa mo para ma-achieve mo yung goal mo sa buhay, yung pagiging career-oriented o kaya naman you want to be a successful individual in terms of the field that you choose. So there are feelings of inferiority which tends to hinder us from this kind of striving superiority or success. Compensation suggests that we look for ways or alternatives to cope from this kind of inferiorities. Gaya na banggit natin kanina, yung compensation may include yung safeguarding tendencies again, and of course, problem-solving approach. So, paano natin naharapin itong feelings of inferiority natin? It's either um, we face it by solving it, or we have this safeguarding tendencies to express and to face this feelings of inferiority. Okay, so likely there are two kinds of striving. So it's either a superiority or success. So feelings of superiority, it is likely rooted from innate striving force. Ano ba yung kailangan nating ma-achieve? Yan. So we also have the physical deficiencies. Maaring tingin natin sa sarili natin ay hindi tayo fit para sa ganitong uh, achievement kasi um, yung mga yung organ dialects natin, tinatawag natin na inferiorities natin are hindering us. Meron tayong mga physical limitations o kaya naman meron tayong mga feelings of inferiority. So it's either it is going towards final goal of achieving for success or superiority. So you choose. Are you doing it for your own self, papunta ka sa superiority, or are you doing it for the success, for the common goal? So it could be exaggerated feelings and personal gain. So it may lead you to superiority. So kung ito ay para sa social interest and for the success or normal feelings of incompletion, then you just have to proceed with the success. And the final goal, it could be clearly perceived kung ito ay para sa lahat or para sa pamilya mo or para sa mga anak mo. So you are clear about it. You are having this social interest for other people. But if it is for personal gain, it is personal superiority. You are striving for superiority. And it will lead you to some kind of form of final goal direct to your own perception. Okay, so we are likely motivated by this feelings of inferiority, and it is upon us on how to deal with these inferiorities. Okay, so we seek the realize our own potential, actualize our self-ideal, and achieving our goals. Saan ba tayo papupunta? Sino ba tayong gusto nating maging? Yan yung self-ideal na tinatawag natin. Through self-mastery, we have to achieve by means of our own skills, abilities, and knowledge that we have. And superiority roots from the feelings of inferiority. Again, success rooted by success of everyone. Again, we have social interest or the individual psychologist's influence to positive psychology. If you want to have a copy of this article, you can just ask for us. So meron daw mga factors in the positive psychology which are relatively rooted from the social interest. For an instance, in an article written here, uh, social interest is related daw to numerous aspects of positive psychology, which is hope, other-centered values, optimism, nandiyan yung pro-social moral reasoning, and other aspects of positive psychology. Nandito rin yung REBT o yung Rational Emotive Behavior Therapy influenced by the individual psychology. According to Sherry in 2020, uh, Adler had an important influence on other great thinkers such as Abraham Maslow and Albert Ellis. So Albert Ellis is the founder of REBT or the Rational Emotive Behavior Therapy, which in this article is being discussed by Ellis, Debbie Ellis. Okay, if you want to copy of it, you just have to ask or you just have to click the picture right here so you can have the access to the article. Okay, here are the references. And of course, if you want to have uh, future collaboration, if you want to ask some questions about this material, you can just send us message through our email address that is hr.lahok@gmail.com or through our Facebook account that is fb.com/lahokpc. So thank you so much, and I hope marami kayong natutunan today, and it is very my pleasure. It is a pleasure for me na makapag-share ng ganitong mga material. So I hope you have learned and you have enjoyed the topic about Alfred Adler. Again, thank you so much. This is Donis Bendicio, and we will see you in the next video.